How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And I really do appreciate you taking your time tuning into today's video. And as always, here at 2A News Now, you get your Second Amendment news straightforward and to the point with no BS added in. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals upholds Maryland's handgun qualification license requirements in a case called Maryland Shall Issue versus Moore. Last November, a 3-judge panel ruled that the law was unconstitutional, but the court vacated the agreement until the case could be heard by the full court, which upheld the law despite their earlier decision. Maryland residents must obtain an HQL, which is a handgun qualification license, to purchase a handgun in the state. They're also required to take a 4-hour class, which includes classes in an actual classroom, and it also requires them to do live fire. So to get these licenses and take all these courses, it costs hundreds of dollars to do so. You also have to submit a complete set of fingerprints, and of course go through a background check. Of course they have to pay for that as well. And of course there's a charge for the application fee, which is $50. And then sometimes you have to wait until 30 days for the state to process your application. What a load of crap. So one would think once you get your handgun qualification license in Maryland, then you can go out and purchase your handgun. And you would be wrong. Once you get your handgun qualification license, you then have to go through another background check. And then there's a 7-day waiting period. And then of course you have to pass the NICS check. Then you're finally able to purchase a firearm. And here's what the court had to say in their ruling. The case requires us to apply the Supreme Court's decision in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruen. We conclude the Supreme Court in Bruen foreclosed the plaintiff's temporary deprivation argument that stating that, despite some delay occasioned by shall issue permit processes, this type of licensing law is presumptively constitutional because it operates merely to ensure that individuals seeking to exercise their Second Amendment rights are law-abiding persons. They went on to say, we hold that the plaintiffs failed to rebut this presumption of constitutionality afforded to shall issue licensing laws like the handgun qualification statute. So the plaintiffs' challenge to the HQL statute fails, and we affirm the district court's award of summary judgment to the state of Maryland. But what we didn't hear, and what the court never considered, is Bruen's historical precedents, because if they had, the state would not be able to come up with a comparable law. At the time of the founding, to justify their decision, Circuit Judge Julius Richardson wrote in his dissent, our en banc court carries Maryland's defense across the finish line, yet to do so, the majority stretches implications from the Supreme Court to establish a carve-out from Supreme Court doctrine. It then defends this result by grounding it in a contrived reading of the Second Amendment's plain text, which the majority offers no support. Beyond negative inference, I cannot assent to this transparent workaround of governing doctrine. The Supreme Court established a 2-step text and history framework for assessing all Second Amendment claims. I would treat Maryland's law like any other and analyze it under this framework. So basically the court only used 1 step out of the 2 that the Supreme Court ruled in Bruen, which is absolutely ridiculous. So maybe the next step is to try to get it before the Supreme Court itself, because they're sure as hell not following what they said. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you guys enjoyed today's video and you want to help the channel out and help it to continue to grow, I ask you to please just take a few seconds of your time to like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. I would be very grateful if you did so. And I invite you to come back and watch my next video.